Hey guys, this is Reef tank update, and I went back and watched the last video, and there has been a lot of changes since, like a ton. So first big one is I've had these guys for like 3 days now, little baby clowns. I went to get a firefish and ended up loving these guys, and bought them both, and they're amazing. They make this tank like 10 times better. That's a livestock change. Another livestock change is my pulsing xinia down there. It's kind of getting blown to Kingdom Come, but it's actually, I think it's looking pretty good. Now if it would kind of slow the flow a little, I bet it's doing really great right now. I'm in between with flow. I'll get to that more later. There's another piece. You could see it on this rock. I should get out of my chair because this ain't working. Alright. That rock right there. Right in the middle. So there's that one, which was the first. I started out with 3 frag cuttings from the store, and I tried this coral glue, just gel super glue, and I glued them all, and only one stuck because xinia goobers up, it slimes up, and super glue don't work on it. So I read you need to tie them down, but I still tried it, and I ended up, most of them stuck that day, but then I lost one at night, got sucked through the filter and blended up, so I lost that one. The second one fell off later, and then the third stayed on that rock, only because I think it was on the corner. It was already kind of wedged in that crook of the branch. And then this one I stuffed in a little lip of a rock, so it should be taking kind of soon. But that one was the first one to really take root, and you could tell by like the color and everything. It hasn't been getting blown around like crazy. Right now it's getting pretty blown. It still looks better than it has in a while. Whether it's because I changed the flow today, I don't think that's it, because usually they don't care about flow. They sometimes when they're pulsing, they're hardly even moving from the flow. But I've had this on my intake instead of the little grate. I've had this filter sponge. It's from in-tank canister freshwater filter, but it slips right through that, and I had that on the tip of my filter, and that would cut down my flow a lot, and it was preventing the xinia from getting sucked up. If it got sucked, it would just stick to the sponge, and I could save it. I love these little clownfish, and they're not scared of people either. This blue chromis is pretty scared. They're pretty inquisitive. See? So, but as you can kind of see, I cranked the light up because my corals weren't getting that bright. I don't think they were getting enough light. I got, looks like red slime algae. So mostly this rock, it is actually, now that I look at this plug, it's covering it. So that's what caused me to just nuke the flow up. I was moving these guys because the GSP, because they like high flow anyway. Excuse me. But once I realized that this red slime is taken over, I realized I had to turn up the flow. Flow is one of the best ways to combat it, and I really didn't have any flow because of the xinia frags, where I didn't want to get them sucked up again. Other than that, before I was watching the last video, and it looked a million times better before the last 2 or so days when this red slime came. It's still, like, if you look at this side of the rock, it looks really good. The sand bed is really clean. Everything's just doing pretty well. Hermit's over there doing something by the coral. Hopefully he's not eating it, but they haven't really been. They've been ornery for shells, so I should have bought some empty shells. I've noticed, I think I've lost 3 of them out of the 8. Because I think they're killing each other for the shells. I noticed a kind of a highway shell robbery right where that coral is now a couple days ago. So got some shells coming. Now the population of them's down pretty low, and that's why I haven't added snails either, because I knew they would have get messed up. But those are a change. Another change actually is my ATO. So right here, it's kind of got that same submersible pump I used the filter from. It's got just a hose I had running around. It sticks in the middle. This light was just for the xinia. I turn it on every now and then just to give them a little light. I dip my fingers. Then I have some 3D printed shenanigans for the ATO. So I have that, which is the hose holder, and I used kind of just a heat lighter to melt the back plate so it locks on. So I melted it around this so this won't move. It can't move. This one is more like double-sided taped on. I need to change the design a little, but it's my float switches. And then I have a new blue light, which is actually, if you could see from the top, it's one of the cheap LED ribbons. It doesn't really work that great for a fish tank, I'm not gonna lie. Now it's pretty worth the money, but if I was to do it, I would get something different. Just today I lowered you could see by the feet right here, I lowered the main light down so they were getting more light. And then here, I'll show you what this blue light actually does. It does quite a bit, but it doesn't quite penetrate. It has good ambient blue light, but it doesn't penetrate deep enough or far enough in the tank to do much. So that was kind of a waste. If I went with a better option, I guess I spent maybe $30 on lights so far. So either the $60 top mount LED or an $80, $90 black box, because I think I'm gonna upgrade tank sizes eventually. I got a really nice 55 downstairs that I kind of want to convert, but that won't be for another year or so. I think I'm putting myself at a limit on a year because there's freshwater fish and I gotta do lots of stuff before I can do that. But another thing with the GSP is it was overhanging the plugs, so I actually fragged it twice. It was overhanging and it kept, let's see, it kept bending. Like, say it was right here, there's flaps and they would like bend, and the middle crease right here was actually getting killed off from that. It was just kind of rotting away. So what I did was I got some very sharp, they're actually like grooming scissors that no one uses. I disinfected them and I just cut the tissue and I super glued it to that back there, so that pointy spiky piece of SPS coral skeleton. But there's 2 big pieces and they're doing just fine. They perked up in a day. None of it suffered. And they all look better because of it. This one looks way better, just the whole thing. That way, and now it can encrust the whole plug. So that's about where I'm at. I've been looking up hydrogen peroxide and peroxide dips and stuff like for this red slime algae, but I'm not quite sure. The first spot of I'm not quite sure about it yet. I think I'm gonna see how the flow works, if it combats it a little, if it doesn't. I need to do a water change sometime in the next couple days, even though my parameters don't look bad at all. I just need to get it done for this week. At first I had like 2 spots about the size of my finger. So what I did was I scrubbed them with my little algae scrubber, or my little soft bristle toothbrush, and sucked all the water out at the same time. So I did a teeny water change and sucked those algae out, and it actually prevented it from spreading for like 3 more days. And then I kind of got this, which is kind of doubled in size. It like doubles in size every couple days. But another thing I did that I think helped the GSP a lot was when it was closed up, I scrubbed it with a soft bristle toothbrush, just to brushed the algae off. I think that was hurting it a lot. But so far, everything's looking actually really great today, except for the algae problem. Now I might even just grab that rock, take it out of the tank a little, and scrub it with a paper towel and just wipe some of it off. Just because I know it's not possible in a small tank or big tank, but in a small tank like this, all of the algae's right there. I could manually remove it pretty easily. So I think I might do that, and then maybe get a hydrogen peroxide paper towel and kind of dab the surface. I think that's what I'm going to do today, and then maybe that combined with the flow will eradicate it. And then I'm thinking about doing a real mild dip on the coral, because that is just covered. But I'm pretty reluctant on that because it's doing so well. But it's time to get back to work. Thanks for watching.